morning. This morning I come to you from my car and I'm heading on my way to work. Usually this is my time that I spend with the Lord, praying. I usually read some scripture before I even start the road, because I have about a 30-minute drive or so to Akron, Ohio. And so I usually spend this time just thinking about things. And so I'm doing a devotion today. And today's actually a special day in our household. It's actually been a special week, actually, because this week we have Mother's Day, my wife's birthday, and my anniversary, or wedding anniversary. And also on Cinco de Mayo, my wife reminded me the other day. She said, Jimmy, what's today? And I said, Cinco de Mayo. She's like, what happened on Cinco de Mayo? I was like, I don't know. Am I supposed to give you a history lesson now? And she says, no, we got engaged on Cinco de Mayo. So we actually have 4 things to celebrate this week. One, which I forgot, who remembers engagement, right? So any which way, as I was praying about devotionals, I just thought, today would be a really good day to do it on my wife's birthday today, because not a lot of times do we talk about marriage and what it means to a man or a woman. And actually, when I think about it, my wife, she'd probably be the first to tell everybody how perfect I am. After 13 years of marriage, I think that's far gone out the window where she thinks I'm the most perfect man in the world. But sometimes we don't think about marriage too often and what God says about marriage. In Genesis 2, I think it's verse 23 or 24, it says, for this reason a man shall leave his mom and his dad, his mother and father, and become one flesh with his wife. How true that is after you're married for a long time. Me and my wife, we've been married now for 13 years. Will be 13 years. And there have been so many times that me and her have gotten to arguments. I remember just sitting on a staircase and thinking, is this how it ends? It ends over a bag of stale potato chips. We were just arguing about potato chips at 2 a.m. It was so odd. And you get in these heated arguments and you just don't know what's going to happen next. But you forget about all the good times. You can't forget about all the good times where you are refining each other and sharpening each other. Without my wife, of course she makes those obnoxious comments, things are just, everybody knows, like, oh, you're getting rounder, or look at those gray hairs on your head, or those white hairs coming out of your nose, or whatever those comments are, right? And we all do it to our spouses, but she sharpens me because she says, you need to really pray about this. How are you doing with God? See, my relationship with my wife is so deep and so intimate. And there's a reason I left my father and my mother to be with my wife, to become one flesh. And becoming one flesh, and then the Hebrew flesh literally means one flesh, one nakedness, one kind, one kin. And over the years, because I've left my mother and father, I've become one flesh with my wife. That she's my influencer. She helps me go along my path as I walk with God. I want to challenge you now, hug your wife, love your wife. The scripture also says husbands are to love their wives as Christ loved the church. Let them know they're special, because there's only one kind of person that can refine you and make you into a better person, and that's going to be your wife, husbands. And wives, you're doing a pretty good job most of the time, refining your husband. And it does make sense now that, you are our moms, because I get that all the time, right? Am I your mother? Because I left my mom, and so somebody got to replace her, right? So, love your wives. Tell them they're special and they're beautiful, because they're the only ones that can make you the way you are. Pray together and read devotions together. Make her a number 1 priority in your life, because she is you and you are her. So enjoy the rest of this day today.